That's the best. I swear it's the best. Bring us in.
It's on.
Okay.
Welcome back to Whiskey Cabins. I'm Garrett. That's Travis. What's going on, Travis?
13th Colony is going on. So I picked this up the other day because I don't understand. Everyone's going nutty about this, and this is a newer one for me.
About the double oaked. No one gives a shit about the small batch.
Well, I'm just
No
saying,
one gives a shit about the small batch.
Well, I'm just saying, I legitimately was at my local Specs and one per person, and I was like, okay, I haven't bought it. It's a budget bourbon in the most part. Let's buy it. Let's try it. Let's see what we got. And you're right. Everyone's talking about that. Indiana Juice, 95 proof.
I mean, all jokes aside, like, I'm interested in it. I guess Georgia was the 13th colony. We should know that as East Coasters, but that might not be a fact.
Definitely is, but okay.
But I'm happy to see any distillery, local or smaller, getting some notoriety, even if I don't know how much of this is sourced and how much is MGP. It does say on the bottle, transparency, which I do love, that it is distilled in Indiana.
Yes.
So just drawing conclusions there.
Yeah.
But, a lot of people at some point transition into their own juice. But there's quite a buzz about 13th Colony overall. Like, I'll say that 100%.
Yeah.
And I think, again, we've been trying to highlight more budget bourbon.
Yeah.
Although I think the price range for budget bourbon is rising, right?
It is.
Like, there used to be a time where you could get the $8.99, $9.99 fifths of whatever, $15, $20 for the 750 mLs.
Yeah.
And now it's like 25, 30 seems to be that new range. Not saying those other spirits are rising in price, but as far as like consumer demand for quality is the wrong word, because I think some of the budget ones are quality.
I do. I agree. And I think it just comes down to, this is interesting because a lot of new, and I wouldn't even say 13th Colony is that new. I think it's been around for a long time. Newer. But a lot of the newer people in the game with bourbon come in at a very high price point. I mean, even they haven't proven anything, and they come in at like a $70 price range for just their entry-level bourbon sometimes. And so I'm surprised that this is coming in as a sub 40, which
Okay.
can't remember right off the top of my head. But I will say, the one thing I don't like about this bottle already is the bottle shape.
Really?
I think it's a great bottle shape. I think it looks really cool, but it takes up a lot of space.
Hard to put on your shelf.
Yeah,
Okay.
hard to put on a shelf. I have noticed even when they put it on shelves at stores, it's like really far on one side because you can't. It's just an awkward shape. And so nothing against the company on it. I know why they did it. It's to stand out when you're going down an aisle of bottles that look all the same. I get that. I think it's great. It's just for me to put it on this shelf. It probably won't ever go on this shelf just because of the pure fact that it takes up too much space.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's common. The next bottle I can think of with a wide base is Willet Pot Still. And often you see them on their own stack at the end cap.
Yep.
In their own little boxes versus, and you saying this, I think a lot of times I do see this, it's on the very top shelf.
Yeah.
And maybe that works out well for them because now it's at some people's eye levels to get noticed. But I think realistically it's probably there because of the shape and it can't go on the shelf with everyone else.
Yeah.
I've never seen any of their products on the end cap before that I can think of offhand, but
That's true.
let's get in this nose. Huh. It's got a bitter coffee quality.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I actually get a little bit of like ripe banana too.
Ripe banana.
Mm-hmm.
There is I'll go plantain.
Yeah. Okay.
Or banana leaf, yeah. Huge anise note. Stone fruit finish, raspberry even. It's got a fruity finish.
It does. It has a very grassy beginning though. Like it's very like fresh hay. Like I know you don't taste fresh hay, but the smell and like that you get with fresh hay, that's kind of what I'm getting on the first initial taste of it. It's almost like spearminty, I guess would be a better word for it.
Yeah, and I think it drinks hot. This is only 95 proof, but it definitely drinks above its APV.
It's hitting above that APV.
Yeah, I think if I was doing this blind, I would easily think this was 101, 102.
This isn't bad though. It's not bad. I mean, it's,
I like the way it finishes much. I like the way that hits the back of the palate much more than I like the front of the palate.
I agree.
100%.
I agree. All right, let's try it on some ice.
Still seems warm.
Yeah. That's weird.
Oh, you too?
Yeah.
Better.
A little bit better.
I think I'm feeling a little bit more of that hay grass note. And then the sweetness becomes very subdued. It's less stone fruit, raspberries, or fresh berries, and more so like a muted marmalade. Like
Muted is the key word. It's very muted. But you still get, it's funny, you still get kind of like a rye spice on the back. Like normally when you put a lot of these on ice, that rye spice kind of subdues, but it still has that kick in the back, like in the
How much rye is in this?
I didn't have the mash bill on it. We'll have to put it below.
Oh, yeah, I don't know this one.
Yeah, we'll have to put it below. But it definitely has that kind of rye finish. Like it's got which is interesting in ice.
It's very leathery.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I can't wait to try this on a Coke and see what this thing tastes like now.
This thing.
Got that southern going on. Let's see. The spearmint comes back for me.
This reminds me of a spiced Coke. I could have the name wrong, but the I want to say it's spiced Coke. Mm-hmm. Well, I should know my Coke products by now, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just different, and I don't know. Like I can't. Like I get what you're saying. Like it's a little spice, but I get that like spearmint bubble gum right at the very beginning of it, and I can't tell if I like it or if I'm just okay with it. Like you know what I mean? It's one of those like I don't hate it. Let me put it that way. I don't hate it, which is interesting. All right.
Did you want to hate it?
No, I didn't want to hate it, but you know what I mean. Like. It's one of those things. How are you drinking this one?
Neat. I think it has a lot of complexity that is not going to be for everyone. But if the complexity is what you enjoy, I think that's the way to go. With the rocks and the Coke, I don't like spiced Coke. So I said it tastes like spiced Coke, but I don't like it. So it's not for me, but again, I think that if that is your flavor palette, Jesus, it's not my first drink of the day, but it's still early. I think that that's gonna be what people's appeal is. It's just not for me.
Would you buy a bottle of it?
This? Definitely not.
Definitely not. Okay. Honest opinion, I would say neat for me as well. I don't, once again, no shade on them. I don't think I would buy a bottle of this again either. I am interested to try some of their other products, the double oaked, and then some of the other ones. John, our boy John, he had the anniversary editions, said it was really good. So hopefully that maybe is better. So maybe we'll get a chance to try that the next time John's in town. But
yeah, I think even when things aren't great, like it doesn't. Each part of whoever's vertical, right?
Yeah.
There could just be one that you like. You don't have to like the whole vertical.
Yes.
And I think that is the thing to remember. This is my first time drinking 13 Colony. I wouldn't say it would be my last. I know a lot of people say good things about them. And just this one isn't for me.
Yeah.
And the everyday I'm drinking it, you're going to find it in my house or you can come over.
That's true. And they do have a rye. If you guys are interested, let us know below if you want us to pick up the rye and try that and give a review on that before you guys buy it. So hopefully this helps make you decide if you want to buy it or you don't want to buy it. Like we said, not to say that it isn't for everybody. I definitely think this has a place for certain people. It's just not up our alley of things that we enjoy drinking. I mean, I will drink the rest of this bottle at some point. It's not like it's a bad bourbon. It's just not one of my favorites. So, you know, if you made it this far in our video, go check out our merch shop. Go see what we've got going on over there. We've got some really cool merch that's coming out this summer that will be hitting in the next couple weeks. So whether you like it neat, on the rocks, or in a Coke, whiskey happens.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.